do a prayer of gratitude. After it will start. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Okay. Whenever we, right now, what is the topic of the course? Course topic is Gita in a nutshell. So if you're knowing any scripture or book, we should know first why we should read that book. So the first session that we had was about that, Jigyasu. First thing is we should have curiosity. We say that curiosity is the mother of all inventions, right? So, and we discussed that how everyone is looking for happiness, but there is a pinprick. Something is missing, but one thing is missing, and that is when Bhagavad Gita gives the answers. And that is the reason why we are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. We can force someone, please come. They'll come up 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. But consistently they want to go deeper in Bhagavad Gita. That will happen only when there is a curiosity. They want to learn something. Like my father forced me to get into engineering. I wanted to get into commerce. So initially I was having trouble. I could never understand for entire first 6 months why C equal to C plus 1. You know what I'm saying? C equal to C plus 1, we write in code. I kept asking my teacher, how is it possible? C equal to C plus 1. She said, just memorize it. So, but I later on realized by forcing I will not be able to understand. I have to have curiosity of what is happening, and this will lead me to. Then I got into Olympiad coding and all. Found the time when I could never accept C equal to C plus 1. You understood it? What C equal to C plus 1? If you don't know, you can learn coding. Or ask ChatGPT. So, curiosity is needed, right? Curiosity is needed. And that is where we enter. Okay, we'll do a quick experiment. Let's see if we can fill this space. Although we are seeing less people right now, but total RSVPs we have got around 30 plus. So, try to fill this space. It is nice, cozy place here, hopefully. So, Bhagavad Gita primarily talks about 5 topics, out of which we have discussed 2 topics in length. First topic was Jiva, who am I? Right? We discussed in length. 2 sessions we discussed. Second session and 5th session we discussed on who am I and the mind. We are going to do a quick recap on that. Second we discussed is who is Ishvara. 3rd session and 4th session we discussed on who is Ishvara. So 2 topics are covered, Jiva and Ishvara. There are 3 more topics that is remaining in Bhagavad Gita. Prakriti, Kala and Karma. Out of which today we are going to discuss Prakriti. And next week we are going to discuss Kala in a very short way. And Prakriti and Karma we are going to discuss in a lengthy way. So Prakriti, usually we don't take such a long topic, 5-6 minutes like mine. But now we have started taking Prakriti as a very important topic because the same reason as mine, because we see now the world has been changing a lot continuously. We'll see one video. Hopefully kids don't come because it's a little bit age restriction is there for this video. So we'll see. If there are kids, then we will skip the video. So before that, we'll quickly do a quick recap. We discussed that what is the lowermost? It is body, sense organs. Right? Below sense organs is what? Bolo.
Material nature.
material nature, you can say, or matter, right? Jada, like this table is the lowermost. Senses are higher than that. उसके ऊपर mind है. Mind is a storehouse of everything. Whatever you are seeing, whatever you are accepting, that gets stored in the mind, repository in the mind. And who is making the decisions, whether it is right or wrong? Intelligence. And on what basis? It is based on the false ego. If you have to identify yourself with the body, then you are identifying as a like false ego. You will act based on that. But if you are identifying yourself as a real ego, which is I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul, then you will make decisions accordingly. Right? And above false ego is the spirit soul, Atma. Right? Atma. Okay, we discussed this. So mind, intelligence, false ego, we connected it with the real software engineering, where intelligence gives the decisions, mind is a storehouse, false ego is the real self or mis-self, depends. And hardware, software and user. User is the one who is using the hardware. We are using the senses. How? Through the subtle body. Right? Subtle body, which is mind, intelligence and false ego. And what is senses? Gross body known as? I already answered gross body. Sorry, senses is known as gross body. Correct? The outer body is the gross body. And mind, intelligence, false ego is the subtle body. And then Atma. So 3 levels of body we have. Correct? Spiritual body is the third. Spiritual body consists of 3 things. Sat, Chit, Ananda. We'll discuss more in next session. And we discuss this. What are the 5 horses they are representing? Senses. What is the reins represents? Mind. Who is the intelligence? Charioteer. And that person who is in scary situation, always scared, that is us. Right? There is a verse in Vairagya Shatakam. It says, a person who is identifying himself with body, he is continuously living with 9 kinds of fear. Bhaya. 9 kinds of fear. I'll recite the Sanskrit verse. You can, someone can read the translation after that. Bhoge, roga, bhaya. You can also understand some of the words. Bhoge means to enjoy. Roga means disease. So you can understand some of the words. Bhoge, roga, bhayam, kula chutabhayam, vitte ripalad bhayam. Vitte means money. You remember Mata Vittam, Pita Shrutam. We discussed. Mane dainya bhayam bale ripu bhayam rupe jaraya bharam. Jaya means jara. Old age. Birth, death, old age, disease. Right? So, Dukkha dosha anudarshanam, that is jara. Jara is old age. So, Rupa, one who is beautiful, he is afraid of old age. We'll see. Shastre vadi bhayam gune kula bhayam kaye kritantat bhayam sarvam vastu bhayam vitam bhuvi nirdam vairagyam eva bhayam. We'll see 9 kinds of fear, or maybe more also. We'll see. Anyways, who wants to volunteer? Okay, Sharmaji, go ahead.
In enjoyment, there is fear of.
Someone gives you 50 gulab jamuns. You want to have it, but you're scared कि diabetes हो जाएगा, right? So you want to enjoy, but there is fear of roga. Some people would want to smoke cigarette, but they're scared about their lungs, right? So everything you want to enjoy, but there is a fear of disease, correct? Next.
In a family, there is fear of disgrace.
Right? माँ कुल का नाम खराब करोगे क्या? We say, right? So do engineering. You become an engineer or a doctor or a failure. That's what in India things are, right? Then.
In wealth, there is fear of hostility.
If you have a lot of money, you're always scared कि stock गिर जाएगा, right? Always that fear is there. So wealth, if you have, that is also becoming fearful, correct? Then honor.
In honor, there is fear of humiliation.
Humiliation.
In knowledge, there is fear of opponents. In beauty, there is fear of old age. In power, there is fear of backbiters. In virtue, there is fear of jealousy. In body, there is fear of death. All the things in this world pertaining to
Man or woman are attended by fear. So, go ahead.
Renunciation alone stands for fearlessness.
Yes, renunciation doesn't mean leaving the world. We'll see this. How we can apply the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in our daily life in the last session. More practical applications. But the point is, each one of us, because we are misidentifying ourselves with the body, we are living in some sort of fear. Some sort of fear. And this fear is a kind of dukkha. And that is why, think about it. On the left hand side, everything is sukha. But because of fear, we are not able to enjoy the sukha because of constant bhaya. And that sukha, it is compared to a woman who has a womb. And in that womb, there is dukkha. So you have sukha, but that sukha will always lead to some kind of dukkha. Why? Because it has an ingrained tendency of bhaya. You understood what I'm saying? But why that happens? Because of the misidentification with the body. Right? This we are talking about the internals, our own mind. Today we are going to talk about externals. So how we are acting, that is one. But also there are some other personalities who are controlling us, right? Which is Prakriti, this material world. We see this. World's happiest country was, if you see something, this 2023 results for there, World Happiness Report. Do you see something weird thing in this? Israel, India, yeah. Israel was on the 4th position. And that suddenly within 6 months, they had an attack. And then things that were beauty became brutality. That is the nature of the world. Continuously it is in a flux. Something or the other is changing. We see someday beauty, we see someday brutality. Let me show you one video, then we will start our session. Okay, let's see if it starts. Okay, it started.
I learn about what is going on in the world from the media. Looking at the morning newspapers.
This is talking about the world. Okay, the situation of the world. Hare Krishna. Someone can just ask them to reduce little bit volume. Because kids will learn.
Listening to the radio. I'm watching television. It's really too easy to conclude that nothing is going right in the world. Plane crashes. Volcanic eruptions. Riots. Wars. Every individual and every nation have problems. But we need life to go on, to go on. Stand up, everything that we know is right, so that we can show the world that we are not afraid of the future. Everything we do now is helping to shape the world in which our children are going to live. The future is not only about gadgets, modern technology, or the latest fashion. What matters to them all is the way we expose the different backgrounds and behave towards each other in everyday life.
So we see both the sides of the world. We see beauty and we see brutality also. Right? Just the nature of the world. And especially now, in this time, we see that there is constant flux. My mother was supposed to come to USA on 15th of March. 15th of March? Yes. On 10th of March, some attacks happened in the Middle East, and her flight was supposed to be there from Emirates. And we had to last moment cancel the flight. So we see that how the world is constantly changing. I was already preparing in January to go in November for the yatra, the spiritual retreat. Now we're rethinking whether we should go or not. So we see that our decisions are changing based on the world around us, right? And that is why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter, Kal I am, Kalosmi. In 10th chapter he is talking about the beautiful creation which is there. In the 11th chapter Arjuna is getting also the chilling vision. Not just the thrilling vision, we will see when we get into Bhagavad Gita, but also the chilling vision. He sees all the Kauravas are entering into the mouth of Krishna, like crushing. And then he says, I have come here to destroy the adharma. Krishna says like that. And then he says to Arjuna, O Arjuna, O Partha, you can become the instrument. So get up and fight. So we see that world is constantly changing. That is why it is important for us to know not just who am I, but where am I living? Where am I living? Right? So that's why this topic is very important about. So we see beauty, we see brutality. Right? And today's topic is this. Okay? Short time. So we all have this question, right? मैं ऐसा क्यों हूँ? Or wife has question for us, ये ऐसा क्यों है? Right? So we discussed from internal side. Right? Internal side we discussed mind. But also there are three modes who are acting on us. There are three modes we'll discuss. The three modalities. Right now we are covering in depth the 14th chapter on the Thursday, in the Thursday program. So people who are coming in Thursdays, it's like sort of a repeat. But today we are going to discuss this in one session, 1 hour, that why we are the way we are. Why we are the way we are. So, why are people the way they are? In Vedanta Sutra, which is considered as the conclusion of all the Vedas, it is said, Anavritti Shabdat. Have you heard this term before? Have you spoke here? No. Anavritti Shabdat. Avritti means covered. Or you can say we are in illusion. Avritti. But Anavritti, we can uncover the illusion. We can remove the illusion by Shabda. Shabda means, in one way, scripture, by sound vibration. And that is why the only one who can give us the answer about the three or the real Prakriti is the scriptures. We can all speculate to our extent, but the real answer can be given only by scriptures. That's why this, one of the sutras in Vedanta Sutra is Anavritti Shabda. And sutra means a very, very short way to explain something very, very big. Like you remember first session I spoke about what are the 18 Puranas. Madhvayam, Bhadvayam, Vratrayam, and then Anapalinga Puskani. If you just remember this, you can remember the 18 Puranas. You remember? I spoke about this. Madhvayam, Matsya and Markandeya. Bhadvayam, Bhavishya and Bhagavatam. Then Vratrayam, Vachatushtayam, Anapalinga. Done. 18 Puranas, you can remember. Sutras are very, very like capsules. Right now I'm learning Sanskrit. And there is a book called Harinam Amrita Vyakaranam. There are 2500 sutras. And before the class I have to memorize certain amount of sutras before my teacher will teach. He'll say, if you have not memorized the sutras, I'll not teach. So sutras are in a very short way where you can understand the entire subject matter just by sutras. And this Anavritti Shabdat, this sutra, you know how is this defined? Anavritti Shabdat, Anavritti Shabdat. Same thing is repeated twice. If something is a sutra, you want to make it smaller. But for emphasis, the same words is repeated twice. Anavritti Shabdat, Anavritti Shabdat. There is another sutra, it is known as, the sutra is this much, Janmadasyaha. That's it. Janmadasyaha. And Srimad Bhagavatam expands it. I said, right, in the fourth session, Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra. And then what is a Janmadasya is explained in 1.1.1 verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now is the time to inquire. This is another sutra from Vedanta Sutra. And another sutra that we discussed is Anavritti Shabdat, Anavritti Shabdat. The only way to uncover the illusion is by sound. The only way to uncover the illusion is by sound. Twice it is repeated. Sutras are supposed to be small. But the importance, the only way we can understand this world is by taking shelter of scriptures. Right? So, we discussed this again in the first session. I'll quickly revise. These are words from Shastras again. It says, there are 8.4 million kinds of species. You remember we discussed. Jalajanava Lakshani, Sthavara Laksha Vimshati, Krimeo Rudya Sankhyakat, Pakshinam Dasha Lakshanam, Trimsha Lakshani Pashava, Chatur Lakshani Manava. This Chatur is not the 3 idiots Chatur. Chatur is 4. Right? Well, someone can read the translation. Who wants to read? These talks about the 8.4 million species of life. Nishi, go ahead.
There are 900,000 species living in the water. There are also 2 million non-moving living entities
Sthavar, please.
such as trees and plants. There are also 1,100,000 species of insects and reptiles, and there are 1 million species of birds. As far as quadrupeds
Quadrupeds are whom? Animals.
Four
Four-legged animals.
are concerned, there are 3 million varieties and there are 400k human species.
You remember in first session I said that there are 400k, depends on different consciousness. But we did not discuss what is a different consciousness. Today we are going to discuss. Okay. So the 400 human species are divided by 3 colors. Which kind of color you possess? No. It is based on 3 modalities. It is known as Sattva Gun, Rajas Gun and Tamasa Gun. Guna means quality and Guna also means rope. So the material nature. And who is the superintendent of material nature? Durga. That's why in Marathi, even in Sanskrit, prison house is in Sanskrit known as Durga. You know Sindhu Durga. You have heard? So the superintendent of that Durga is Durga. So Durga Devi in this world is compared to a prison house. We'll discuss more in next session. Right? And as soon as we are in the prison house, first thing we get is clothes. You know? Clothes, kind of clothes, specific kind of clothes. So those 8.4 million species, there are different kind of clothes. And second thing that we get is, we are bounded by some chains. We get certain limitation on our freedom. We cannot go do anything we want. Some limitation is there. And that limitations or that chains or that ropes are the 3 modalities. That's why we are restricted. We think we are free. You know, like people say that, अरे इंडिया में जाएंगे तो फिर यही नेबर से जाना है, वो नेबर से जाना है. Here I am free, but actually we are bounded. Each and every person is bounded by 3 modalities, by 3 modes of nature. But sometimes we are so much in ignorance that we are not able to identify it. The reason we do the morning chanting is not to buy time. कि लोग आएंगे, बैठेंगे, थोड़ा हवा खाएंगे, तब तक अपन क्लास शुरू करेंगे. No. Our life has happened in such a way that we are constantly the mode of passion or ignorance. You can ask yourself. Weekend time is actually break time. We still work. Right? कुछ manager का ping आ गया, कुछ outage आ गया. In certain companies, depends on which company you are. Right? But when we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, it is bringing us to the level of Sattva Gun. If we are not coming to the level of Sattva Gun, which is we are going to discuss, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. If we don't come to the level of Sattva Gun, the scriptures or the knowledge that we are taking, we will not be able to accept it or digest it. Why? Because we are so much in Rajasic and Tamasic. And especially the Bay Area. Every area, we will see in the last verse of this today's session. Area also decides which kind of modality you are in. Like Bay Area predominantly works in Rajasic and Tamasic. See, so many creators are there. Yeah. Right? And it is okay. We'll see. Everything is needed. That's why it is there. Right? But when we are accepting Shastras, when we are reading Shastras, scriptures, we have to come to the level of goodness. And that is why we do this kirtan. Coming on time is also mode of goodness. Right? Coming on time is also mode of goodness. So there are different things we will discuss today. But why I am mentioning is the reason chanting is done is so that we can come to the level of goodness, and hearing whatever we are hearing, we can easily digest it. Otherwise, we are listening, but we are not digesting. We are not digesting. The reason is because we are operating on Rajasic or Tamasic. Tamasic mode, we will just, वो मतलब ऐसे जाएगा. Rajasic में we will listen, but it will be hard for us to accept it. And Tamas में तो बोलते रहे तो. I'm waiting for Prashadam to start. बोलते रहे. कोई tension नहीं है. That is what is happening. You are not even listening. Sattva, you are listening, you are accepting, you are contemplating. Nidhi dhyasanam. And you are acting. So Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Today, if you want to take out something from today's session, is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. These are the three gunas. Have you seen sometimes you're talking to your husband or you're talking to your wife, suddenly they flip. एकदम भड़क जाते हैं, एकदम वो. Why that happens? And when you ask, तुम भड़क रहे हो? मैं भड़क रहा हूँ? मैं कहाँ भड़क रहा हूँ? वो भड़क ही रहे हो. They are not even realizing in which guna they are operating, right? So these are the three gunas. You have to understand. You have to ask ourselves again and again. अरे भाई, I am operating in this kind of guna. Right? We'll see today. Right? And it's not like you are operating only in one guna at a time. ऐसा नहीं कि full life you are operating only in sattva or in rajas. There are modalities. We'll see in 14.10. It is said that there is constant competition between the three modes of controlling the jiva. But a jiva who has the knowledge, he can understand how I can take the best out of every guna and work on it. Like a person who's a drunkard is predominantly working in the mode of ignorance, right? So we also need mode of ignorance in the day, in the night time. For sleeping, if we are not coming in the mode of ignorance, we will not be able to sleep. We will continuously be in anxiety. Anxiety, this all is mode of passion, right? Or continuously mind is working. अरे वो कोड चल क्यों नहीं रहा? Continuously we are thinking, so we will not be able to sleep. So we need to come in the mode of ignorance for sleeping also. So it's not like you are operating only in one mode. All the three modes are needed: goodness, passion, and ignorance. But we need to use it on its strengths and not become weak on it. So we'll see. So why this diagram is there? To show that we are not operating only in one mode. We will be operating in three modes. But there will be a predominant mode that you are working on, like that. Some will be in, continuously just passionate, working, 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. like that. Some people are just procrastinating. So you will see, you will understand, okay, which guna they are operating the most. Some people are always happy. You will see them happy-go-lucky. कोई tension नहीं life का. कुछ भी पंगे हो रहे हैं, tension ही नहीं आता उनको. So there are also certain modes. Right? So we'll see today. So it's like a white bulb is there. Depends on what kind of covering you are having. So white bulb is jiva, which is in pure consciousness, Sat, Chit, Ananda. But then is covered by the three modes: yellow, red, or blue. Blue represents tamas, red represents rajas, and yellow represents sattva. Okay, we are going to discuss more in detail. The kind of eating habits we have, that also determines our modes. Or we can come under certain modes based on our eating habits, drinking habits as well. We'll discuss in last 2 hours some of those things. Right? So we see that how it is pure is Sat, Chit, Ananda, but it is covered by three modalities. And why there is three modalities are also there, we'll discuss more in Karma section, which is the next session we'll have. So you can repeat after me this verse. Sattvam rajas tama iti guna prakriti sambhava nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehi namavyayam. Okay, who wants to read the translation? See, you saw what verse it is? 14.5. Krishna gave 3 chapters just for the 3 modes. 1 chapter he gave for mind. Which chapter I said last time? Do you remember? 6. Kaun bola? 6 chapter. Okay, 6 chapter was on mind. And 14th, 17th, some part of 17th and 18th talks about the 3 modes. Can you imagine? 18 chapters are there. 3 chapters dedicated to the 3 modes of nature, because we are operating under that. So at least we should know where is the pendulum moving towards. Right? So who wants to read? You want to read?
Yeah. Material nature consists of 3 modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
Think of like a salad. You just have leafy vegetables, and then you season it with some spices, some sweetness, some vinegar, right? So now it is no longer just salad. Now it is seasoned with or conditioned by certain items, which can be in different modes. So like that, Jiva by default is Sat, Chit, Ananda, but it is covered by 3 modes, and based on the 3 modes, we get certain kind of body. Like a human being majorly operates on Rajasic mode. Obviously there are exceptions in goodness also. You will see many people, and you will also see ignorance. But predominantly they work on Rajasic mode. And sages, obviously, and that's why I said there are different varieties. That's why I said 400,000 kind of different human beings. And animals, more passion and ignorance, like that. But a knowledgeable, intelligent person works in mode of goodness mode because he can see what is right and what is wrong. See, for some people, accepting that I'm not this body and the spirit soul is hard. Even if we ask ourselves, we are not acting based on that. We have the knowledge. We are not acting. So real knowledge is there, but realized knowledge is not there. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Vijnana. He says you have the Jnana, but Vijnana also has to be there. Right? So, and that's why we become unhappy, because we think that, oh, I am this body, and if this doesn't happen, then something, I am becoming sad, like that. That is the reason for unhappiness or dukkha. We see manager, this is mode of goodness manager, saying to the employee, "Arey, you just work for 5 hours or 6 hours, no problem." Or encouraging, right? Always encouraging. Then you see passionate, micromanaging, continuously shouting at the person. We see in certain companies, kitna bhi kar lo, ho dhaat khani hai, right? Sometimes like that. And ignorance, stock gir gaya, he's just sleeping, scared, continuously scared to death, right? You see days are also like that. Temple opens at what time? 9 p.m. Right? 4 a.m. Meditation time is morning time. Because once you enter into Rajasic time, which is 9 a.m., it is hard to meditate. That's why morning time you see people prefer meditation. Right? You put some rock and roll, jamega hi nahi. Right? Because that morning time is sattva. Sattva is extremely predominant during that morning time. But most of us are sleeping during the morning time. So we are wasting that sattva good. And then stock market starts when? 4 a.m.? No, 9 a.m. Because that time Rajasic starts, Rajas mode starts till 5, 6 p.m. And then winding down starts, mode of ignorance starts. Right? And that's why you see bars, discs, alcohols, all this, you see it will start in the night. It can start in the morning also, right? But 4 a.m. they close down. It's not our mode. 4 a.m. they start to close. Right? You see the day is divided and everybody is aware of it in a subtle way. Bhagavad Gita explains it in a more grosser way. But even America understands it. This is the way the human is functioning based on the 3 modes. So day is also like that. Morning time, meditation time, afternoon time, work time. We use it for our purpose. That's the time of creation. And then evening time is a winding down time. But what we do, we are working night ko 12, 1, 2 बजे तक, फिर email करेंगे, manager I'm still working, हाँ, कोई CL create किया, why? Then the morning time gets screwed up. Then we don't have time for chanting. That's why we say, right? See, think about it. Everyone has 24 hours. But still certain people are able to give certain amount of time of their day to chanting or meditation or spirituality or reading books, scriptures. But for some people, कैसे possible? Because the entire day is messed up. We are either working predominantly on ignorance mode, where you are sleeping, or work, like that. And it is not like we cannot work, but we have to see this is the amount of time I have to spend in the work, and I have to get maximum output. Otherwise, what we'll do during that time also, you see in India, I used to be in JP Morgan. I remember 12 o'clock I used to reach in the office, 5 p.m. I used to start my work. पहले तो थोड़ा ईमेल देखेंगे, फिर एक राउंड मार के आएंगे नीचे. इन्फोसिस में ऐसा होता था, थोड़ा राउंड मार के आ गए, right? Then 5 o'clock को शुरू हुआ, then New York will ping, what is the status? Then we'll start our work. Then 2 a.m. we will go back thinking that अरे आज बहुत काम कर लिए. But entire day, main day, we wasted. And in the mode of ignorance, we are working. And then health got screwed up. We are trying to earn to get more wealth at the cost of the health. And then we are spending the same wealth to get that health back. That is the irony of life. That's why Krishna is explaining these 3 modes to Arjuna. Arjuna is going to fight. Also, he is hearing the 3 modes of nature. It's amazing. Right? So you understand the importance of it. Okay, so we are discussing now mode of goodness. Who wants to read? Who will read? Prathamesh?
For sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than...
This sound is also like mode of goodness. Yeah, amazing. Very nice job.
is illuminating, and it frees one from all the sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Bhagavad Gita 14.6.
Yes. So we can see that even if we are, this is the, okay, before going there, this is the characteristics of people in mode of goodness. What is the characteristics? They are purer than the others. We will not discuss that much. But they are illuminating and frees them from all sinful actions. They don't get into unnecessary, illegal things or something which is not according to scriptures. They'll do under the regulation. That's their normal instinct, like that. And you see some people, they just try for looking for loopholes. And then let's try to expose it, like that. I remember Harshad Mehta, uska interview tha. And in the interview he said, what I did is normal. There was a loophole. I just exposed that loophole. So he's not realizing that what blunder he did. According to him, it was right. But he just said that मैं फंस गया बाकी सब. You remember that Harshad Mehta thing? In fact, I'll tell you one story. There's a devotee you can Google after reaching home. His name is Anand Vrindavan Das. Anand Vrindavan Das. He's from ISKCON Chapati. Before that, he completed his CA, he was into stockbroking and everything. And he was doing very nicely in this work and all. And once Harshad Mehta approached him, or that team of Harshad Mehta approached him, he was a very good friend of Anand Prabhu. And he was one of the Gujarati wo Gujarati the, so you can understand, right? Broking matlab, like, it's like bread butter for them. So they approached him he said that we have a plan, something like that. Why don't you come and we can talk? And then entire discussion happened. It was a big mansion that he was invited. And then after the entire discussion, he went to a devotee. His name is Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. You can Google him, Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. That time his name was Devamrit Prabhu. And then he said that this plan is there, like that. And if we do it little bit, some crookedness is there, but we will get so much money that we can build a very nice temple for Radha Gopinath. That time ISKCON Chapati, Radha Gopinath. And that time they were struggling with the funds and they were trying to build a temple. And the Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj said that we don't have to do anything wrong. If Krishna has to give Lakshmi for his own temple, he will give. But we do not do anything wrong. And then it was for Ananda Prabhu, he was a new devotee, just for him saying no was hard. But because his mentor told that don't go into it, leave it. So he said no. And that person, Harshad Mehta's team, was telling him, it's a good opportunity, you are wasting your very good opportunity. Not everyone we approach. And he kept saying, no, I don't want to get into this. And then after 1 year, Ananda actually writes an article on that, I can share. Later on, after 1 year, he says that I came to know in the news, my own friend is now in the jail. Right? You have to be guided by someone who is in mode of goodness. Otherwise, our life will go like in jail, like that. It's a very nice story, and And then later on, he became devotee because his conviction increased. Seen the entire situation. Now he's helping. Now he's retired, 60 plus. Now he's helping other grahasthas to how to retire early by planning properly in their life, like that. So very nice devotee. Anyways, so this is mode of goodness. So happy-go-lucky, they are always happy, right? This is mode of passion. Who wants to read? Maybe my nature is more like that. Happy. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive action. We want to create, right? And that is, it's not bad. Brahmaji, Krishna does the primary creation. We'll see in 14.4. Aham bija pradapita. Krishna says, I am the primary creator. Then Brahmaji is doing secondary creation. For creation, you need passion. But he's doing it as a service. Right? We have a Thursday program. Now we started Sunday program. When we are starting something, we need some passion is needed. But we have to dovetail it by some mode of goodness. Why we are doing what we are doing, that has to be clear. Right? So, in passion, what happens is constant desire. Chahiye, longing, aur chahiye. There is no end only to the longings. Right? Raga. Not that Marathi raga, Atamadi Satakli, not that raga. This raga is attachment. Strong lust, strong attachment is there. That I want more. That kind of thinking is there. There's a story I told before in Thursday class, more if you are here. So I'll tell here. Once there was a forest dweller donkey. And he came to the city thinking that I want to see a city, very nice city. Like how we sometimes come to SF. So he wanted to see the city. So he came to the city and he met one donkey. So the donkey used to, what he used to do is, he used to carry around 20 kg of burden on his back. So the forest dweller donkey said to that city dweller donkey, "Kya kar raha hai? 20 kilo ka, you are putting on your head, on your back. Better you come to my forest. I'll give you everything." He said, "No, you don't know. Here my master gives me grass in retaliation or in response of this burden." So he says, "But in forest you will get it for free." He said, "No, there is no free lunches. I don't believe it." He said, come at least once a week. Like how we also invite devotees, please come once a week to temple. So he was also saying, please come at least once a week. He said, no, there are no free lunches. The only way I can get my grass is by putting weight on my back. So this forest dweller donkey said, okay, no point of arguing with this guy. He left. Then after 1 year, he again came back. So now he is seeing that forest city dweller donkey has 40 kgs on his back. So he got confused. He said, "Arey, why are you now holding 40 kg of burden on your back?" So now this person is saying, "Arey, you don't know, I got promoted. Now my master is not just doing one city laundry, he is doing nearby city laundry also. And he has told me that he will give me double grass." But then this person is saying, "But you will be able to eat only that much, what you were eating before." He said, "Yes, but see, you don't understand. I got promoted. So now I have more responsibilities." So this forest donkey thought, okay, then he left. Now he came back again. And then he's seeing that, he's getting tired and he's still continuing with this 40 kg of burden on his head. So then he's saying that, "See, you're eating all this sukha grass. There you get fresh grass. There you get different kinds of varieties of grass. And here you are getting only one type of grass. What are you doing?" He said, "See, you don't understand. Right now I got promoted. And soon my master is going to start extending it to more cities. So he's telling me that I'll become a manager also. And then I will manage other donkeys." So then this forest donkey is saying that, "Arey, even if you become manager, you will still remain a donkey." He said, "See, you don't understand. This is not my only goal of life. Later on, my manager in the evening, he has a business of, he has a monkey, where in the night, in the evening, he is dancing that monkey with a puppet. And whoever sees that monkey, they are throwing coins. They are giving some money." So this donkey is saying, forest donkey, "Okay, if they are giving money, so what are you getting?" He said, "See, that my master also has a beautiful daughter. And the daughter is walking on the thin rope while that monkey is dancing. You know that thin rope? So that master has told that daughter that if you fall down, everyone will come and beat us. So if you never fall down, then I will marry you to a Rajkumar. But if you fall down, then I will marry you to this donkey." So from that time, I am waiting for that day to come, that when will I get married to that daughter. Who is a donkey? Us. Right? See, again, it is not wrong to become, I'm not saying not being a manager. There's nothing wrong. I am also principal engineer. So, 3-4 promotions were life. See, but at the time, we have to understand that everyone has certain quota, that how much they can work. Think about it. See, recently I was meditating on it, so I'm just sharing. Imagine your salary is $100,000. Whatever you do, you work decent amount of time, you will get $100K. Again, exceptions are there, but I'm talking in general. Now what happens is, let's say you're working for 6 hours and you are getting that $100K. But if you work for 12 hours, you will get a bonus, which is, let's say, $110K. So now what is happening? Just for that 10K extra, you are working same amount of time what you could have worked by getting that 100K. You are understanding what I'm saying? And many of us, most of us are doing that. Right? Again, obviously there are exceptions where there's a bell curve and this curve and that curve and then diamond curve. But we have to be smart in our life. We can work and we have to understand what is our capacity also. Otherwise, next life also we will be in the same position. Running, and then again thinking, when this life will, kab tak chalta rahega. But we are choosing that life. We are choosing that life. I can tell you from my hand on my heart, when I was 3 years back, when some lafda happened in Yahoo, I realized that I have to switch now hard It's high time. Almost 8 years I have been spending time like chalta hai chappu chalne do. Then 2022 I realized I had to switch now, and I got VMware. And that time I had another company, which was I knew that was much better in terms of the money I would have got. But I knew that my work-life balance would have gone for toss. I don't want to name the company. And then I took a conscious decision that whatever it is okay, whatever I get, but I don't want to screw up my spiritual life in the name of getting extra money. I'll adjust. Whatever I have, I'll try to adjust in my family life. And I took that VMware offer. And I knew that I'm losing that golden parachute. But somehow Krishna had his plans. I got into Broadcom. But the point is, we have to take the decisions. And that comes by reading scriptures and having mentors in our life. Otherwise, we will get into this orchi. That orchi will never end. That's the nature of mode of passion. You will become the most richest person. Then you want to get into politics. Doj banana hai. मतलब रुकना ही नहीं है life में, right? Instead, one has if they have free time, then they can do something. Srila Prabhupada, sometimes people think that no, money can only bring things. That's why entrepreneurs are needed. Srila Prabhupada, when he came here, he made drunkards happy people. Even rich people cannot make them. People who are there in the lower east side of New York, complete drunkards, hippies. Nobody could do anything to them. Every day police was coming in that area. But Srila Prabhupada, who was a more Shuddha Sattva, we'll see that in the next session. Shuddha Sattva, there is something about the 3 modes also. He was able to guide all these drunkards. In fact, police people used to send drunkards to him. You please handle, this is a homeless guy lying on the... And he said, okay, bring them. And all of them then did proper job of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And now they are saintly personalities. And sometimes when you talk to them, in intimate setting, they would say, I was a drug dealer. They used to say, I was a drug dealer. And now my life has been transformed. Not by entrepreneurship. Sometimes we think money is not there, this is not there. A person who has eyes can only guide a blind man. A blind man can never guide a blind man. We don't want every person to become saintly. Maybe not sadhu. But a sadhu can guide other people. Right? But if we have only CAs in a world, then life will become complete Rajasi. So we need mode of goodness people also. Right? You understand? Okay, sorry for a long winding. We have not even done 10% of our deck, but we'll finish. Okay, we'll go to the helplessness. This is mode of ignorance. You see that person, always anxiety, and more than anxiety, always feeling helpless. Why? Because you are not able to take control of your life. Suicide, why it happens? Because you feel that you are helpless. You are not able to take control of your life. Right? Drunkards are like that. You tell drunkard to walk straight, they will not be able to walk straight. ऐसे ही walk करेंगे. Because they are not able to control. See, they have freedom, right? You ask them, are you free? He'll say, "Arey, free hu." But they are not free. They are not able to control themselves. Correct? Similarly, us. We think we are free. But actually we are bounded by 3 modes. Right? The 6 enemies, lust, anger, greed. Similarly, the 3 enemies also of the mind are this only. Everything, the root is lust. Lust is not, doesn't just mean between husband and wife. Lust also means constant hankering, raga. Constant hankering. Think of it, a kid who has a rag for, or lust, or kama, or attachment for chocolate. Now what happens? Office देखा है? 2 बातें हो जाएंगी. या तो he will get chocolate, more chocolate, or he will not get the chocolate. If he doesn't get the chocolate, then what will happen? He will get anger. Correct? And if he gets the chocolate, he will get more greed. He will say, okay, I am satisfied. He said, Papa, I want more. So now attachment is leading to 2 more things. Greed and anger. Next what happens? If the neighbor doesn't have, and you have the chocolate, then it will lead to pride. And if the neighbor has and you don't have, then it will lead to envy. And all this will lead to finally madness. You see the 6 enemies of the mind. Everything starts from attachment. But when we read Bhagavad Gita, we start to understand, okay, attachment is there. I am supposed to work in this material based on my family. I have to support them. But at the same time, I have to also be detached. Like a lotus flower. Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an example of lotus flower. Lotus flower is remaining on kichad. but it never drowns. You see, it is floating. Even the water, if it comes on it, it goes down. It never sticks with the lotus flower. So the example is again, you have to live like a lotus. Live like a lotus. And it is hard. But when we read scriptures, when we associate with those kind of people, we start to understand. When I first time came to ISKCON, I feel ये कौन लोग हैं? I used to feel like that, कुछ weird ही है. But when I started associating with them, started reading Bhagavad, now I hang around with them only. I could see the clear distinction between the kind of world I was from and the kind of people I am meeting on a everyday basis. Now I hanker to come to temple and meet friends. Yeah. So quiz time. We'll quickly do. It's not like that kind of quiz. Kahoot. This is. We'll just see. We can just find out where we are. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is desire, delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion. What kind of happiness is this? Tamasic. Correct? Correct. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end it's just like nectar. That which awakens one to self-realization. What kind of happiness is that? Sattva. Right? 4 a.m. Although 4 a.m. it's so hard. But when we start realizing, when we start getting up, we start to feel. In fact, I have seen personally, if my morning meditation or chanting is not done, my entire day becomes, I feel like craziness. Like that. So passion is crazy and ignorance is lazy. So you are we are operating in lazy or crazy state. Like that. So this is sattva. Initially we will feel this meditation, kya chal raha hai, kyun kar raha hu, or 4 a.m. getting up. We will feel like that. But if we have done that consistently, that same poison, which feels like poison, will feel like nectar. And this is that happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at the first, but poison at the end. What is that? Rajasic. Right? Like someone will give you one first peg of whiskey, they will say, "Arey, don't worry, free है मेरे तरफ से." और फिर बाद में you are paying तुम्हारे तरफ से. We are only paying it. Right? And then we get completely. So it feels like, "अरे ये तो नया कुछ नया taste है." But it's not. We are just studying. Or we are watching some movie. Then we are watching, and then completely got engrossed in that. Then we are thinking also on that only. कि मेरी wife काजोल जैसी होनी चाहिए. I'm just thinking of those times from 2014. So just entire, and then there's fights and all that. Why? Movies. Right? So tamas, sattva and rajasic. Correct? Happiness also can be in 3 modes. What's wrong if I smoke cigarettes or have multiple affairs? Right? I had a friend, Delhi se tha wo, when I was in JP Morgan Chase. He used to speak like this only. He was married and still having affairs, and he used to say, they are approaching, what can I do? Like that. So this kind of mentality, right? I am not harming anyone or stealing anyone's money. I don't force anyone against their consent. Right? So we see that is also rajas. By hook or by crook, I need my daily dose of alcohol. Even if I have to shoplift, forcefully steal it. You see homelessness do that. And they are thinking, I am free. But they are operating under mode of ignorance. Right? I don't mind going ahead and doing it. Right? Just do it. Nike ka hai na, just do it. Right? Tamas. Live like king size. Zindagi milega dobara. King of good times. Right? And in that what you're doing is alcohol and going to this and bar. And it is portrayed in the ad. Arey, maja aa raha hai yaar. Right? Ads are actually screwed up our life. And supported by movies. See, in movies you will see actors smoking. Right? Dawn mein wo aise hota tha Shah Rukh Khan. Used to be. You remember? Good if you don't remember. हाँ ऐसे कुछ. And used to be अरे अपन को भी करना है ऐसा कुछ. Remember? I'll tell you once. I watched that movie बाजीगर जब मैं छोटा था. And बाजीगर के end में जब पूरा car racing होता था, उसके बाद he removed his helmet and he used to do like this. You remember? Don't remember, it's okay. So once what I did is I had a bottle of water remaining. So I was about to enter my home and I realized my mama will shout कि पानी रह गया. तो मैंने सर पे डाला ऐसे किया. मुझे लगा अरे मैं को फीलिंग आ रहा है मूवी का. क्या फालतू की है. But we do all this gymnastics while watching that movie. We wasted the water also. और गीला भी हो गया मैं पूरा. So this is all, people are just screwing. I have to balance in my search for pleasure and think long term. Even if I'm not harming anyone in my pursuit for pleasure, I have to make sure I don't succumb to something that is superficially glamorous. Right? Superficially glamorous. Sattva, that is sattva. Right? Right? Movies. Movies also given 3 modes. Hum Saath Saath Hai, mode of goodness. Raju Ban Gaye Gentleman, mode of passion. Devdas, mode of ignorance. I mean, I'm not saying you should watch mode of goodness. I'm just saying movies can also in 3 modes. That's why in 2014 I started. I told this before. First thing I stopped is movies. I just realized it. Because you can see, you understand that, okay, what they are trying to affect our brains. Right? Like that. Conversations. It is mentioned in scriptures that conversations also can be in 3 modes. Vitanda. Vitanda is where 3 modes. Vitanda, Jalpa, Vada and Samvad. Vitanda is you're trying to defeat the other person. That is the only जब भाई हस्बैंड वाइफ का झगड़ा होता है कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता कौन सही है तुम गलत हो खत्म राइट दैट इज द गोल नेशन वांट्स टू नो बट इतना चिल्ला रहे कि नोबडी इज एबल टू नो व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन राइट द ओनली एम इज टू जस्ट डिफीट द अदर पर्सन और लास्ट में म्यूट कर देंगे तो मैं बोलूंगा मतलब नोबडी इज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग करेक्ट जल्पा इज द ओनली गोल इज कि आई एम राइट जल्पा दैट इज नोन एज पैशन मोड ऑफ पैशन वाद इज we're trying to understand, okay, क्या सही है क्या गलत है, raising little bit consciousness. And samvad is discussing something about spiritual. That's why I say Krishna Arjuna samvade, something which is going out of the 3 modes. We'll discuss in the future session. Shuddha Sattva. So even conversation can be in 3 modes: mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness, like that. And that's why you see some families, they will see the fights also is in mode of goodness. They are trying to understand what is the problem, how to solve it. Some people will see the fighting, but no solution is coming out. Because the goal is just to defeat the other person. मैं जीत के दिखाऊंगा या मैं हारा के दिखाऊंगा जो भी है like that. And day is also right. We discussed morning time mode of goodness, afternoon time mode of passion, and evening time mode of ignorance. Ignorance means we are supposed to sleep. Night time we are supposed to sleep. We are not supposed to work during night time. If we work during night time, we are going against our modalities of the prakriti. Like call center jobs, those are there, but see the health reduces, health affects. Why? Because they are operating against the 3 modes. Prakriti is made like that for us to work accordingly. Afternoon time supposed to be given to office. We should work nicely. There is no problem. But 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. जितना है उतना में we should try to do like that. And we should ask if it is going beyond that, like crazy. We have to ask, is this what I have come for in this life? Like that. There is no difference between us and donkey. डोंकी के केस में भी उसका मालिक बोलता था यू आर माई ग्रेटेस्ट एसेट यू आर माई ग्रेटेस्ट एसेट मैनेजर भी बोलते हैं हमको यू आर माई ग्रेटेस्ट एसेट एंड देन वी बिकम एस पूरा बैंड बचा था लाइफ का राइट सो वी हैव टू आस्क आवरसेल्फ वर्कर इन 3 modes राइट हु वांट्स टू रीड 42 ओके you go ahead.
Who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always moral, and procrastinating.
Procrastinating. What do you think? Which mode is it?
Tamas.
Tamas. Right? Tamas mode. Right? Always procrastinating. Who wants to read the फटाफट जाएंगे अभी. आप पढ़ोगे? You will read.
Attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow.
Greed. Raga is Rajas. Right? Okay, you will read.
Perform this duty without being egoistic, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure.
Without wavering success or failure. Right? That is Sattva. Correct. Eating. थोड़ा छोटे bombs. Next time और बड़े bombs. Eating also can be in 3 modes. Right? Harsh, you will read.
Increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart.
Right? Some foods you will see it gives us nourishment. Some foods gives us anxiety. Right? We'll see the second one. Let's say you will read.
Too bitter, too sour, too salty, too hot, pungent, dry, and burning, agitating the mind with restlessness.
Right? Agitating the mind with restlessness. That is spicy food. Right? So होता है ना कभी कभार अपन ठेले पे जा रहे हैं और स्पाइसी करना और स्पाइसी यार नेक्स्ट डे विल बी you know, you can see, I said, right, every sense also will start feeling pain. You think if you eat spicy next day, how When you go to the bathroom, how you will feel? You will feel happiness in every sense organ? No, you will feel pain. Correct? So what kind of food we are eating? It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, I am not elaborating here. Every sense organ also feels happiness or miserable situation based on our habits. Eat too much sugar, next day you know what happens. Or eat too much spice, next day we know what happens. Right? My uncle, not uncle, I mean very far-fetched relative, he used to get into too much meat eating. And doctor told that if you eat more meat, your leg have to be amputated. Can you imagine? So much. So certain foods create certain effects on our body. But that is not for everyone. If you're operating that mode, then you get certain kind of body. Where certain kind of food is easier to eat. Yes, as I said today, we will not discuss a lot. Okay, who will read Tamasic? Son, you will read?
Tasteless, decomposed, putrid, stale and rotten, product of cruelty and violence towards other living entities.
Tasteless. Think about the food which is tasteless. Don't think after putting masala on it. Think about the food which is tasteless from the get-go, not after putting masala. Right? So, decomposed, rotten, putrid, right? Product of harming someone, that kind of creates tendency of violence. Obviously, exceptions are always there on either sides. But I'm just saying in general, this is general statement. And this I'm not making up ki chalo kuch likhte hai. This is in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains. I said at 14th, 17th and 18th. 14th, it's more into theoretical mode. 17th, it goes into actual habits. Eating in 3 modes, staying in 3 modes, then happiness in 3 modes. All those things are mentioned in 17th and 18th chapter. We'll come to that soon. In fact, when we start Bhagavad Gita 6-month course, we are starting Sunday. Every Sunday we'll start here after the 9-week session. There you will see this more in detail. Okay, foods in 3 modes. Oh, we discussed this, no? Okay. So tamas, rajas, too spicy, correct? And sattva, right? In fact, recently suddenly someone sent me a message today morning. There's a thela in some Kanpur or something, where the shopkeeper will make you sign a document before you're starting to eat, because that food is going to be very spicy. क्या चल रहा है, मतलब कुछ भी करते रहते लोग. Really, they mean, why? Because they don't. Once I was sitting in a flight, I was seeing a person watching 2 screens at a time. वो iPad में भी movie देख रहा था और वो ऊपर भी movie देख रहा था. मतलब imagine he's hankering for happiness, he's not getting fulfilled by that one movie also. इसको 2 एक साथ देखना पड़ रहा है. You're imagining, I mean, what level? I mean, I was speechless. So, anyways, we'll see this. You have seen this video before? Anyone? Somebody देखा क्या? this is who we are only doing this. One thing you have to understand, it doesn't mean that, Shastra explained that every living entity is subsist on other living entities. Jivo jivasya jivana. So it's not like we can get away from it. But that doesn't mean we can exploit everything. Ishavasam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatam jagat. Ishopanishad first verse talks about that. Everybody has been given their quota. We have to act on that quota. We cannot take others, then we are getting into exploitation mode. And that's why Arjuna asked Krishna, I want to escape. Right? So Krishna tells Arjuna, you cannot enjoy, you don't want to enjoy, you don't want to escape. You can't escape also, being a Kshatriya. The only way you can do is engage. You want to engage in the world, you need to know the world. Right? You need to know the world. Music also can be in 3 modes. Right? Morning time, you want Ravi Shankar, right? Night mein, if you see disc bar with tam metal, like that. And afternoon mein, ye kya ho raha hai, you know, movie song, some Dukh Dard wala song. So, even music can be in 3 modes. Right? Okay, we'll 51. Who wants to read? This is fictitious characters, so don't think if someone's surname is Malpani, just made up. Okay, just go ahead.
ABC University decided to celebrate.
This is real story, but the name is fictitious, but
They decided to celebrate Diwali in a grand way. Since it's a very popular festival, the club which planned this event decided to do it in a unique way. They felt that in order to attract all the university students, they should just order good food but also have booze, and this inevitably resulted in most of the students becoming intoxicated by alcohol on the day of Diwali.
Diwali is the day when we are supposed to welcome Lord Ramchandra. And that day what happens? People are busy in gambling, जुआ खेल रहे कि आज लक्ष्मी आएगी, or they are in alcohol. This is what we have made to our culture, thanks to movies. Right? Thanks to movies. Literally movies are this one area of the world called Mumbai has screwed up the entire civilization. Literally. Right? I am from that place. Okay, next. Fatafat, open, read. Abhinav, you will read? Okay. Maybe Abhinav can read and then after that Aishwarya you can read.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Malpani were completely focused on how they could double their income and business on such an auspicious day. They started sending Diwali wishes on WhatsApp to all their friends and family from their business account.
होता है ना?
All with the hope that somebody would then be ready to do some big business with them.
Right? It is okay, but we have to understand that we can do that business, but there is a reason for Diwali. That also has to be handled, right? Taken care. Satwa, Aishwarya, you can read.
Vyas family always look forward to this festival. They made many sweets to distribute. They invited their friends and relatives for dinner, bought lights to decorate their home, visited their friends and relatives, spent time with their kids, and took a few days off from work.
And taking time with kids. The kids, we gave birth to kids and then we are just so busy, kids, we don't have time for kids. Right? Life should not be like that. So, Diwali in 3 modes. And we see in family only, Vibhishan was mode of goodness. Ravan had already had Mandodari. He still wanted Sita. Right? Mode of passion. And apna Kumkaran. Right? That's why we say, Kumkaran कहते रहे क्यों सो रहे हो? See, हमारा गाली देने का तरीका भी शास्त्रिक था. मतलब क्या कल्चर था अपना. Right? And now, so, and even mode of ignorance we can use it for Krishna service. We see Hanumanji, he destroyed the entire Lanka. Pooch pe aag laga di. But he used it for Krishna service. Correct? So we can also use ignorance by sleeping at the time it was supposed to sleep. 9 a.m. time, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Winding down should start. And 4, 5 a.m. we getting up. 6 a.m. whatever our health is there, that is also important. But morning time is meditation time, like that. Okay, okay. Some case studies, you will see 6 minutes we have. Who will read? Okay, Shalini.
Dr. and Mrs. Bright and their 2 kids have a small home just suitable for their needs in a peaceful country town. Dr. Bright is a local MD, a thoughtful and a qualified man respected for doing his job honestly and selflessly. His hobby, reading books of philosophy, poetry and science. Mrs. Bright, when kids are in school, engages in the farm and garden around the house and cares for the family cow.
Okay, thank you much. Maybe it's a lot long. but it's basically mode of goodness. And then it's mentioned here, they don't gamble, and for them intoxicants are strictly prohibited. They don't smoke, and what to think of liquor, they don't even have tea and coffee. Tea and coffee has caffeine, and that also affects our consciousness. Right? Dr. Bright has many of the patients, anyways, we will not go there. Similarly, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, we'll skip that part. Yeah. Right? So there is constant competing of the three modes. We discussed in the start, right? 14.10 talks about how the three modes are constantly acting on us. Constant fight is there. Which is this 14.10? Okay, it's there. Rajas tamas chabibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata. Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva tamas sattvam rajastapa. Tatha. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. This constant flux, but it depends on us whom we are taking shelter of. Right? In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Right? ये मेरा बकरा है, ये मेरा बकरा है, तीनों अपन बकरे हैं. So we have to understand this knowledge is important. And we have the knowledge, only then we will make right decisions. Right? We will not go into this. This talks about the three modes in music. We don't have that much time. And it depends on what kind of things we are taking, what kind of eating habits we have. Garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. If we are having those kind of things which is affecting our consciousness, then we will do that only while coming out also. But if we are taking those things which are, we will see that in the next verse. So we'll skip this. We already discussed balanced, overexertive and inactive. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Right? Okay. This is important. So this is the last slide. 11.13.4. This talks about what are the 10 things which affects the three modes of nature. Some of those things we don't have control anymore. Some of those things we have control. Okay. Agamo pah prajadesha kala karma cha janma cha. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.13.4. Dhyanam mantro tha samskaro dashaite guna hetava dasha ete. These 10 guna is qualities, or you can say ropes. It affects according to the quality of religious. So agama is scriptures. What kind of books you like? Harry Potter or Hari Puttar, which is Bhagavatam, right? Talks about Hari. You're so much in a hurry. Whenever I go for books, people always tell me, I'm in a hurry. I mean, holiday time may be hurry. I want to tell them, remember Hari. But they are always in a hurry, right? So what kind of scriptures? Once there was a person in a train. He got a lot of magazines and he was busy reading those magazines. In front of that there was a devotee, his name was Kanai Thakur Prabhu. He was reading Bhagavad Gita. And then next stop came, this guy left the magazines and he was getting down. So Kanai Thakur Prabhu asked him, "Bhai, itna paisa bhar ke magazines kharida, at least take it." He said, "Raddi hai." And then Kanai Thakur was saying, "Oh, pura raddi usne humne bheji mein dala. Pure isko pata hai raddi hai." See, think about it. We know we are wasting our time, but we are still allowing कि आजा रद्दी डालते रहे मेरे सर पे, आनंद नहीं मेरे को. So what kind of scriptures we are taking shelter of? Scriptures or something time pass. Pa is upper is to drink. What kind of drinking we are having? Coconut water, nice mineral water, or other kind of water, right? What kind of water? That also affects our consciousness, right? Upper. Praja is what? What kind of people associating? What kind of people we are associating with? Praja. Desha, place. You see, if you are in Rishikesh, near the banks of Ganga, will you think, "Kaise millionaire banna hai?" No, that place has its certain kind of effect on us. We will not feel. We will feel like, okay, meditating. But will you be imagine you are in bar. I mean, don't go. Just say, if you are in a bar, will you think, let me do meditation? No, possibly not, right? That place has certain, some similar stock market. When you're in a stock market, let's say in Wall Street. If you're in Wall Street, you will think about money. So certain place has its effect, right? In fact, certain place you are born also has its effect, like that. So Desha, which place? Kala, time of the day, right? Karma, what kind of actions we are doing? Janma, where we are born, and what kind of Dhyanam, on whom we are meditating on, right? That's why this mantra meditation is very important. Mantra helps us to come to the Shuddha Sattva. So humble request, next time please come by 10:15 so that all of us can chant together. And in Shastra it means Sankirtanam. Sankirtanam is when we all chant together, the vibration helps multifold the entire community. Community means all of us together. That's the power of Sankirtan. You see, that's why in Palo Alto, you remember Vinodar Govinda who shared one on Instagram, that Sankirtan was happening on Palo Alto. Imagine they're just going to Palo Alto and all of the entire temple is doing chanting. They don't have any other work. Think about it. But when we chant together, it affects the entire city also in a macro level that we'll not understand immediately. But Sankirtan has its power. Kalir Doshan Idirajan Asti Eka Mangunan Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramija. Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva Gatirindra. In this age of Kali, Harinam. No other way. Kalau Nasteva. 3 times they are saying. So 6 times they are saying. Harinam is the most important 3 times, and no other way is the method for this age of Kali. It's mentioned in Caitanya Charitamrita. Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva. Gatir Anyatha. So chanting, meditating on Dhyanam, mantra, which kind of mantra we are chanting, and what kind of samskaras we are taking up. Everything has a samskar. It is mentioned. Okay, we'll first read the translation. According to the quality of religious scriptures, water one's association with one's children or with people in general, particular place, time, activities, birth, meditation, chanting of mantras, purificatory rituals, and modes of nature becomes predominant, differently prominent. That kind of mode of nature we get, right? And if you want to know what are the different kinds of samskaras, by the age of 8, half the samskaras are done. During the when you are about to give birth, Garbhadan samskar, Pumsavan samskar, Simantanayan samskar. These 3 kinds of samskaras are done before the child comes into the world, right? And then childhood rites, Jata Karma, Nama Karna, Nishkramana, Annaprashan, Chuda Karna, Karna Veda. All these create samskaras in the heart of a person, in the heart of a jiva. Then Vidyarambha, like when Kishori started her education, we invited Vaishya at our home. Vidyarambha started off, and then Vaishya was holding her hand and make her write something on the slate. This used to happen even in previous times also. Right? Vidyarambha, Upanayan Samskar. You know, Upanayan is thread ceremony for Prabhu, for kids, they are boys. Vedarambha, Keshanta, many others, Samavartana, Vivaha. Right? Vivaha is marriage. Some don't do, take brahmacharya, they don't take that samskar. And finally, Antyeshti, time of death. That is also a samskar. The samskar is done. Right? It's not left like a vulture lying on the road. It is the Antyeshti samskar. So there are various samskaras that are done in the life of a child or a jiva for that matter. And all the samskars creates how to break away from these 3 modes. We'll discuss in the future sessions. Okay, we'll just do one video and then we'll stop. Okay, then we'll have some question answers for 5 minutes, then we will stop. Chal nahi raha hai. The video is like unplayable. Okay, then we will stop. Hey, anyways, I think Krishna also. Okay, chala kya? So last time aate, warna fir we will. Okay, unplayable. We'll have couple of questions or reflection. Otherwise, we will end the sessions. It was useful. The 3 modes of nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. We can ask ourselves in every time which mode we are acting on. And again, I am reminding, mode of ignorance is not bad, depends on how we are using it. It is there, that's why it is supposed to be used. But we are not supposed to get used by it, we are supposed to use it. Mode of passion, mode of goodness. Okay, anyone has any burning question or any questions for reflection? One at least reflection or question we can take, and then during the prasadam time we can discuss. Anything? Any reflection? Arsha, go ahead.
Should it be our conscious effort to always move towards mode of goodness?
Yeah.
Or you mentioned that like every mode has its use, so should we just recognize that this is the mode going on and not attached to it, or always try to move towards?
No, if you're in mode of in the evening time, mode of ignorance starts. It's better to take rest, wind down, sleep now. But not during the day. And also why we are doing it? By doing that, if we don't do that, then in the morning we'll become crazy. So better we take sleep by the time when it is needed. And when we do that, then we are not behaving like a mode of ignorant person. We are working in Shuddha Sattva because it is needed for maintaining our body. So then we don't say we are in ignorance, we say more like this is acting as a on Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is transcendental. Sattva is goodness. In goodness also there is two problems. One is contentment. One will feel content. कि okay, कैसा चल रहा है चलने दो. I don't want to know about the higher purpose of life. That kind of negative thing. Or we might become pride. Sattva mein. Right? We might feel like that. Right? So pride and second contentment. These both can be a problem in Sattva Guna. In Rajas, there is good qualities and bad qualities. Good qualities are also there. We will be able to achieve things. Right? So like there is a person, Mafatlal, in ISKCON Chowpatty. He is a very big businessman. So, but he is using his Lakshmi in Krishna's service. So he is also working. Right? He is a big businessman. You can Google Mafatlal. Like that. Then Rishikesh Mafatlal, I think that is a full name. And then similarly, mode of ignorance, we see Hanuman's example. He burned the entire Lanka, but he used it for Krishna's service. Arjuna is going to fight in the battlefield. Arjuna said, I want to run away. But Krishna is saying, no, you fight. Fighting is mode of passion. Mode of passion. But Krishna is saying you should do it because that's your dharma. That's bhakti yoga for him. Thank you, good question. Anything else?
How do you make that?
Yes, it's a very good question. Two things.
Because in case of Arjuna, Krishna was there to.
In case of us, we have mentors in our life. We should recognize those people who can help us in our spiritual life. किसने router खोल दिया? विनीता को बोलना पड़ेगा. So, anyways, class is ending, so it is okay. But we need to find out those people, recognize those people, and take guidance from them. Like how I spoke about Anand Vrindavan Prabhu. He spoke to, otherwise he would also be in jail. Think about it, right? So we need to find out those people who are helping us in our, who are ready to guide us. वो नहीं, like that same person I was talking about, the person who was my friend in JP Morgan. So once what happened is, बहुत कुछ डांट पड़ा मैनेजर से मेरे को for some project, and then I was feeling a little disturbed, and then I told that person कि यार आज थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया. So and I told that I'm feeling very anxious. It was like 10 p.m. already. He said, don't worry, I can help you. I said, how? He said, nearby there is a bar. दोनों एक कर लेंगे, सब शांत हो जाएगा. So you think that kind of people we need to take guidance from, and there are people like that. Right? There are people like that. We have to choose whom we want to take guidance from, and obviously scriptures. Scriptures can illuminate our senses, like mentors. दिमाग की बत्ती जलाते. So those things take shelter of scriptures. We take association of saintly people, and chanting of the holy name helps us to always be in mode of goodness. Morning time when we chant, we immediately understand our position, that I am the servant of the Lord. This is my position, and we act on that. I am a spirit soul, like that. Okay.